that's such a good thing to watch. You know, that's such a fun thing to watch. You learn so much from it. Yeah, I gotta say that warehouse fight at the end, I think was just, it's still fresh in my memory. It's so good.
Right. And I think really their team learned from that, from the previous game where they were doing the same thing that Akiharu team was doing, camping from the sides, playing it safe. They learned from that, and look at their kills. They have so many kills when they started being aggressive and charging in, and they won the game as well.
They did. Nice. They did indeed. Yeah. It's and it's funny going in between where you were talking about how you know, you can have the because you have lulls in the match. You know, you always have these lulls where maybe there's a little bit of conflict beginning, maybe just a little bit after you land, a little bit of conflict, but then you've got these lulls for maybe, would you say up to 5-ish minutes at times? There's like, and they're good times to try and level up a little bit and get better materia, get all this better stuff. Although sometimes you can just, you know, if you're feeling the risk reward of it, you can rush to a position to sort of ambush a bit, or, you know, do this kind of thing. And depending how you play it, you know, I always think it's a payoff to go attack all the monsters, do what you can to level up a little bit, give yourself that little bit of extra health, because you know, that little bit of extra health can save your life. It's amazing how much it can do that. You know, you can have what 8 health left, and you can come back from it. You know,
good that you pointed it out, because when I was looking at Teddy's team, they had 200 HP. They were max leveled, and the Akiharu team had, the Akiharu team had 110 HP, 140 HP. They were a clear disadvantage in terms of HP and levels at that time.
Big difference, very big difference. It can change up the whole match easily. You know, because the other team's having to work a little bit harder. You know, and that's kind of what you want when you play these games, right? When you play these matches, you want your other team to work a little bit harder to use up their, what was it you say when we played together in the past? You're using up their resources. You know how when we played the long game, where it's like let them burn their resources a little bit. You know, let them do that. You know, it's always good to do that, especially for players who have, you're up against players with long HP, more HP than the other one.
Right, and that's another thing. That's another thing I noticed. Good that you mentioned that, because when Teddy rushed Grand Carry, who was sniping from the top, Grand Carry was popping potions, but they were canceling the potions. It didn't matter whether they could kill him, but they just wanted to cancel the potions. And Grand Carry got away, but that depleted his resources.
It did,
and they did the same for the others as well. So
I agree, because in a pinch like that, you know, it depends how much. How many potions you're kind of carrying, but even though they're on a cooldown themselves, so if you're in the thick of it, it's not going to always save you. And plus, if you get hit, that, you know, obviously that's going to cut off wherever you're healing from. So sometimes, like, in my opinion, you said, you know, most people don't carry Cure. I might be one of those rare C players where I do carry Cure in Season 2. Because it's in a pinch now, because players are getting so much more ferocious and people are learning so many new strategies, you know, and for someone, you know, like myself, who doesn't get to play as often as everyone else does, you know, I always have to carry that Cure because I need that quick snap heal just to quickly learn what I'm seeing, you know, before I'm completely wiped out, you know. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
I think one explanation why Cure isn't as prominent in C is because early in the season, like Season 1, we didn't have that many players during peak hours. That's why you had a lot of time to grind, to have potions stocked up. That's why Cure wasn't as prominent. But if you go to East Asia, Cure becomes more important because you just run out of potions. It's fight after fight after fight. And when you're in a tournament like this now, you're expecting a high volume of players, now Cure becomes more relevant because eventually you run out of potions.
It's interesting, isn't it, to see the differences? It really is. On East Asia, they are much more hardcore than they are in C. I feel like I call it hard mode. That's what I always call East Asia. Yeah, the Elden Ring. We call the Elden Ring now. I'll give it that one. Matches are about 9 minutes long. Roughly a speed run of Elden Ring.
Partly because they have more players there, so it's more crowded and more engagements happening.
True. It's. I think as the game's evolved, it's seen as a little bit more of a. I guess if you really want to test your skills, you know.
Yeah. I think
Swan's back in there.
I am back. Yes.
Hey, Koala.
I was letting you guys finish your sentence, and then I was going to hop back in. I am back.